2022 GSL Season 2. Africa TV, Free Cup Studio, live. 2022 GSL Season 2.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to another day of the GSL Codex. We're going to go into Group E before we move on into the round of 10.
Group E? The last group? I'm excited. We have Maru playing today.
I can tell her.
Yeah.
You seem really excited.
No, I am very excited.
Yes.
But yeah, we have Maru playing. That's what I'm mostly excited about.
Yeah, Maru, probably going to be one of the survivors of this group. We've got Creator, Keen, and Solar as well here.
I wasn't actually counting Creator as part of the group. In my mind, he's already like top 4.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm a little bit worried. You know, we've had a couple big players drop out early on. I guess that happens every season, but some of the biggest names ever, like Rogue, already eliminated here. Creator, of course, the guy that honestly performed very well in the last finals. Didn't manage to win the whole thing, but I think inspired a lot of players, especially people who've been grinding in StarCraft for a long time and haven't achieved the goals they wanted to achieve yet. You know, he kind of represents all of the late bloomers, the people that had to put in the hard work. And it was exciting to see him get this far and perform as well as he did. And so hopefully he does get out of this group, but we've had some big upsets so far. You think he's going to get out no matter what?
No matter what. He's, his storyline is too good. And, you can tell the reason that Rogue fell out is because he used up all of his luck against Creator.
Yeah.
Creator was meant to win that final. So I think that Creator is going to be back with passion and fury.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I'm looking forward to watching him really wreck this group.
I will tell you, man, thinking back on that finals, that was rough watching Creator lose in that last game.
Yeah.
The 3 minutes
before
he knew it was done and just did not exit the game yet. So, yeah, it's going to be fun to see how he performs. We do have Keen in the group as well. I think he might be the first player to get knocked out, but I welcome some upsets.
Yeah, I would love to see Keen do well. Keen is he is a player that can cause an upset. One of those seasons where Maru ended up winning, in fact, I believe it was the first season he ended up winning, Keen actually had him in the decider match of the first round group.
Right.
And then ended up losing, but when he comes out and plays his best, it's capable of beating just about everybody. So
seems like it.
Let's not completely count him out, but it's a tough first match against the god himself, Creator. And then Solar has been very good lately, and of course Maru is Maru, right? So this is a great group.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting day here. Solar again, always so solid, so stable here. Champion of the Tasteless Land Party. Never forget.
Yeah.
World champion, actually. Move that up in ranks here.
Yeah, but you're right. There have been a lot of upsets. Rogue and Gumiho, champions. Zest and Byun, champions. By the way, you heard that Zest retired now.
Yeah, well, I mean.
But it was like announced today.
Yeah.
Yeah, he like left his team and everything, so.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he's back here a couple seasons later.
You're right.
He's done this a couple times, Artosis.
Yeah.
This is a thing where pro gamers go, all right, that's it, I'm done. And then, 3 seasons later, they're still here, and I'm like, okay, am I?
Yeah,
I didn't make that memory up, right? No. I know humans do that sometimes, but.
We're 4 or 5 seasons after Zest said it was his last season right now. So maybe you're right.
So if he's actually not here in season 3 and then not here next year, then I'll.
Dude, look at Creator's graph right now,
man. Yeah, that's crazy. Just an explosion.
This is he's shooting up faster than inflation, Tasteless. Look at this.
Yeah, it seems like he's really hit his stride, so to speak, here. And again, for those of you who've only been watching for a year or two, we do get new people that you discover GSL still. Creator had a pretty big boom at the very start of StarCraft 2 and was basically always getting knocked out early on. And it was kind of this theme throughout, I'd say 8 or 9 years of StarCraft 2 for GSL was Creator is obviously good enough to make it into GSL. Many players never get that far, but he would be eliminated almost always in the first round, periodically in the second round. So, for him to get to the finals last year is exciting. And obviously, he wants that watermark to go even higher here and take home a GSL championship. Keep in mind, Rogue's been eliminated this season. That threat is gone. And so now Creator's back. He's here to try to maneuver his way back up to the top of GSL. But his first opponent in Group E is going to be Keen.
Yeah, let's see what Keen has here. Sometimes Keen busts out some really interesting off-the-wall play. Not sure what he's going to bring, but if Creator plays anywhere near his level of last season, this should be a victory for him.
Yeah, it should be an interesting match overall here. Creator really did seem to find his own voice, his own play style as well. We're going to see if he's improved on that, and I think we're going to talk about this a little bit more when we actually get into the game, but PBT seems to be in a meta shift right now. Anyways, guys, let's go to map 1 on Blackburn.
I came for war.
Team NV, Creator. Guangdong Freaks, Keen.
Okay, so before we get too far into this, I just want to talk about something that started at the start of the season, and that began with Hero. Hero really, and he showed, hints of this in seasons before, but I think it really stuck with everybody at the start of the season. Is he changed these approach that a lot of Protosses were using in PvT. In the past, we saw Protosses basically play more defensive than the Terran, and they kind of played almost a little bit of a Zerg role, kind of expanding a little bit earlier, not necessarily taking the whole map, and then trying to get like Immortals, getting Disruptors, getting Colossus, getting Storm, trying to get this big sophisticated army and trying to take fights there. And a lot of times it was Terrans dropping everywhere, and some pushes, but what Hero just started doing was just making mass stalkers and occasionally, why am I suddenly forgetting the name of this unit? Oracles, excuse me.
Oh yeah, are you talking about PvT or PvZ right now?
PvT here.
Oh, okay.
And would basically out-expand the Terran and just engage with them constantly and trade, and then win the fight that way. And it looks a lot more like what a StarCraft 1 PvT is. Where the Protoss just tries to grow and tries to just, trade and win with a lot of finesse, and then, if they're not going to win it, they run back. And I don't know if Creator's going to play like that here, but if we do start to see it, that would be very interesting, because that would mean last season's GSL finalist is also adopting that style of play.
Well, I think one thing about Creator, it's a 3-Rex opener, Keen, but one thing about Creator is that I think he's more motivated right now than probably every single player in GSL. I would actually, maybe other than Estrella, right? Estrella did get eliminated already.
Yeah.
But, when you look at it, there's a bunch of people like Creator that don't really see themselves, I think, as having a shot to win and haven't for a long time. Players like Keen, right?
Yeah.
And then there's a bunch of players who have won a bunch of times, right? And it's hard to keep your motivation there. Whereas with Creator, he has recently come into this new, much higher skill level and is performing there. So, yeah, in my mind, I think that he is probably way more motivated, training really hard and being, just kind of sponging in everything that's happening.
Yeah. Stim on the way. You had talked about this a little bit earlier on, Artosis, but Keen actually going for 3 racks, which honestly I didn't expect him to do that.
No.
I don't feel like this is necessarily tailored to the map either, by the way. This is just like a good pushing build here. If Creator is at all greedy, he will be punished. But at the same time, we have a War Prism coming. We have what looks like Disruptor tech here.
Yeah.
So I feel like Creator, he's going to be probably doing his own timing push here. But it seems like what Creator's doing is just going to be good against this anyways.
Yeah.
This can happen in StarCraft where you have some grander plan, but the other player's build order just happens, their build order also has big plans, but also happens to directly counter yours.
Yeah.
And so I feel like this should probably be a pretty straightforward game. If the Disruptor shots connect,
well,
that's it.
I think it's even more straightforward than that, because his Observer came in
Colossus,
right as the Robo was, the support phase was finishing, and he went Colossus.
Yeah.
I guarantee you he was planning on Disruptor first.
Yeah.
but there's no reason to go disrupt here because, like you said, you're like, oh, if any of the shots connect, he's good to go.
Yeah, but what
Whereas
if, the
if you
shots
just make
connect?
Colossus,
Yeah.
you're good to go, right? Like, he's even getting the Prism speed because it's not like there's going to be a Viking. He can actually do Colossus drops here and just whittle everything down as well. Like, his build is so well suited for absolutely destroying Keen here. Like, he is, I look at this, and it just looks so good for Creator.
Yeah, this is going to be rough, dude. It is funny, you know, we don't see this that often, the 3-racks play. It does feel like a little bit of an older build. We haven't seen a lot of Keen in StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
At least on GSL. I mean, he's still around, of course. But now here's the problem with not having a medevac. Turning this into a War of the Worlds movie here.
Yeah, look at this. It's just so one-sided.
Yeah.
Like, already he's burned so many Marines. And what are you going to do? Like,
Well,
he's
I mean,
10
it's
Marines
probably not much.
for nothing for some shields. Hasn't even taken hull damage.
Yeah. And, you know, the edges of the map, excuse me, are wide enough that he can actually just, move away.
Even, like, taking this much damage to Colossus, you just bring it home now. And you have, like, he's going to have 3 Colossus with, like, Thermal Lance and then anything else. And then you're just sitting here and you've lost so much bio already.
Oh,
you know,
dude.
This is just as
gonna
bad
get
as
away,
it can get.
too. It's still going to get away.
Not quite.
No, not quite. My bad. Sorry, guys. Let you all down.
Well, I'm glad that
Sorry, everybody.
Keen gets himself on the board here.
Yeah.
So far, trading.
He's got a kill. That's good.
Yeah, an SCV and 15 Marines going for an observer. No gas lost by Keen.
Yeah.
So that's nice. No
That's
gas
exciting.
lost.
Yeah.
Right. Look at the amount of gas lost. 75 more gas lost for Creator.
So, you know, the issue now for Keen is that his whole build order was just to make a bunch of infantry, and basically the Colossus just slaughtered tons of the infantry. Keep in mind, it wasn't killed off, so it's going to be another fight again. Now, Keen hasn't wavered in his plans, but basically it means that his push is going to be weaker. There's just going to be less stuff to attack with.
Yeah, like, if it was anything like kind of gateway-based or very greedy, then Keen's build does pretty well against it, right? Like, we see 3-racks play do pretty well if you're doing something like 2-gate blink third base.
Yeah.
But in this situation, the amount that Creator is ahead, in my mind, this game is over.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
I hate calling games early, but Creator has such an absurd advantage. He's already going into Disruptor Tech. He's already taking his gold base, Blink, Forge, upgrading, like, and Keen's walking out for the first time with this little bio ball. Like, at this point in the game, you're supposed to be up like 30 army supplies, Terran.
Yeah, and you know, honestly, and I think you're right, Artosis, by the way, to call it. And again, I don't like doing that either because, you know, it's not as exciting. But I mean, this is, I think, one of the more straightforward games we've had here. Unless we see Protoss really screw up somehow and take a lot of damage, I don't see exactly how you can recover. So he's got 2 Colossus. I saw at least 2 Disruptors. There might be more Robotech here as well. And I think he's going to take the gold base, wait for the Terran to take a third base. Actually, I'm sorry, Terran already took a third base. And then attack out.
Yeah. It's such a tough game here for Keen, and I'm trying to think of how he's going to go about it. He's making Vikings now. So it's not like a bad idea to go Vikings, but this shows that he's going for an army to hopefully be able to combat Creator's army. I felt like maybe trying to outmaneuver him and get a drop off in the main or something might be a slightly higher percentage chance, but let's see what he can get done. Stim's in here to the natural.
Yeah, it looks like there's actually just enough over here as well. And so I think at this point in time, it's going to be up to the Protoss to just box the Terran back. By the way, these DTs coming in here. I don't know when Keen's going to catch on either. This is actually even more one-sided than I thought it was going to be to start the game out here. Keen's already going to be forced to have his army come back. That could lead Creator into a position where he wants to then try to come in here on a push for the third base, since everything's going to have to come back home to defend. That was 13 SCV kills, by the way.
My God. Yeah. Now, I mean, Creator's just like warping in whatever.
Yeah.
It doesn't honestly even matter. He's just got so much. Double Forges going, another Nexus in the top left. I mean, do you have any chance? Maybe you have a chance to hold this because there's like a good amount of siege tanks there.
Yeah, well, this isn't a planetary either. I feel like with the next Zealot warp in, he's probably going to go for it.
Yeah, he's got an Archon in here. He can throw down a Guardian shield. Like,
okay, here we go. Charge should be done. I didn't see if that actually got upgraded, but
not the best angle to come in from, honestly. Comes forward, and he's losing his Colossi. They did stand like right on top of a missile turret. So ends up losing quite a bit there. Really a terrible engagement from Creator, but not sure that that's going to matter. Like, he needs to do like 2 or 3 really terrible engagements. And then just comes in after like basically losing everything.
GG.
Yeah.
Creator wins that.
That was
not the most complicated game, honestly. That looked like just one player being a lot stronger than the other, which is, I think, basically what this matchup is.
It was a big part of it, though, as well, I think, was like build orders, right?
Yeah.
Creator sent an Observer over right away. And like, even with the Disruptor, he's way ahead, but then he pivoted into Colossi. And I mean, that's just... It's like a build order win. Like, as soon as we see he's going over there with Colossus and Speed Prism, you can't do it. You don't have any tech. You have Marines and Marauders with Stim. You're done. That's it.
Weird old build from Keen, too. You know, not a lot of, I think, advanced ideas at play there. But keep in mind, Creator is the hot Protoss right now. You know what I mean? Maybe Keen has a lot of success with builds like that. Maybe, you know, other Protosses get a little bit too fancy or greedy with their third bases, and that's worked before.
We have seen Kieran Beyond busting out 3 Raxes lately a little bit, right? So maybe he's taken a page out of their books. You know, Kier actually killed Trap with a 3 Rax on Thursday, right? So I think he won that game.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he did. He just barely busted his third base. But, you know, he gets a little bit unlucky here. We'll see if he can do better in the next map.
So we're going to go to 2,000 atmospheres here for Game 2. Creator versus Keen continues on.
Just drinking water, Jason.
Ratosis. Scared me with that sound.
Team NV, Creator. Guangdong Freaks, Keen.
Okay, so Creator didn't show that new style that Hero showed back there. I don't know if we're going to have anybody but Hero keep doing that for a little while here. Creator. So I'm trying to show the audience I can read. See, guys?
He did a great job.
See? So fun to have audiences back in here again. We got a lot of people in here. Seems like the studio, every day we have a broadcast, there's more people in here than the time before, which is great.
Yeah, you're actually right about that. We definitely have been having it fill up a bit more. Also, I mean, Maru's playing today, and he's probably the most
man. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming down, guys. This is, yeah, it's so good just to have an audience down here again. What were you saying, Artosis?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I was just talking with you.
Okay.
I just kind of go on autopilot talking with you, Tasus.
Yeah, me too, sometimes. Oh, I remember what I was saying. Okay, so, you know, Creator didn't show that new style. Part of that's because the build order was very different. Keep in mind that build order was actually intended to basically be a disruptor timing attack, like a push where you do some damage and then you come out later.
Yeah,
but then he saw it, he's like, oh, I can just make a Colossus. This isn't complicated.
Honestly, I think it wasn't a bad idea because when you think of Keen, he oftentimes uses some really highly technical builds, you know, where you might do like an earlier push, and something like Speed Disruptor drop, like if you blow up like one technical unit that he has, like let's say he's going for some sort of weird Cyclone Viking type opener, right? You can just basically stop it before it starts, and then he catches that build and just smashes. Ooh, a nice little cancel there into Twilight.
That's cool. So this is where you're basically punishing the player. Since they did scout you, you're like, all right, I'm going to do something totally different. you might be going off in the wrong direction now. But the tech's later, so there is that problem with that. If they do happen to counter it, you're not in a great spot.
All right. I mean, this is like a very old technique to cancel what they scout and go down another tech route. Now let's see. Yeah, see this? It's like there's a cyclone being made, and is that necessarily good against Blinkstalkers? No. In fact, just no. It's not good against Blinkstalkers. So it seems like Creator is going to trick him up a little bit. Now, is that going to be something that forces like a game ending? Not so sure about that. But definitely there's potential here for like some sort of punish, right? Like if you move across the map and try to cancel a third and then Blinkstalkers are there that you are not expecting, that's going to be rough.
Okay, so to be honest, when I saw the cancel, I thought, oh, maybe he's going to go for like GT or something crazy like that. But this is like a very safe, normal way to play the game here, basically.
Yeah, it's like not a super optimized build, obviously, because he canceled into it, but it's very solid.
You know, honestly, man, I imagine that last game went so well for Creator that I think from Creator's perspective, you say, okay, I don't have to do anything fancy. Let's just do like a very normal, modern build and play it out. Because keep in mind, you know, when you're Creator, and this is only going to be true for a couple of the players here, but the people that actually get to the finals repeatedly, Creator has the sights to get there again this season. You don't want to bring out the very, very best stuff you have against a player that you know you can beat doing a lot of more basic things, right?
Yeah. Like, Creator is very likely to have to play Maru today.
Correct.
So
almost certainly he'll be playing Maru unless we have some real plot twists here today. And so when you have two Terrans in the group and one is like way better than the other, yeah, I think that you just keep it really basic in this game.
And honestly, basic play, if you're way better, is a great way to end up winning.
It's like a super simple, you know, straightforward common chess opener, right? And then you're going to save the really crazy moves that you're going to do later on when you're against opponents that you really have to do new stuff, try to catch them off guard. So we do have a Dark Shrine coming and War Prism coming.
It's fun. It's fun, Tasteless, having you use the chess metaphor when all you do is Fianchetto bishops and jump backwards with your horses. That's really cool to hear you act like you do anything other than those two things.
We do play chess before the show, guys. This is true. So, Stim is going to finish up here. We might see some actual movement here from the Terran after that.
I kind of like the Immortal, Immortal into Dark Shrine here, by the way.
I'm watching. All right,
Yeah, diving pretty hard there. But I like this type of build where the DT, it's like a macro DT where we'll see what they get done and they're going to be like kind of useful, but he actually has like a pretty solid army behind it as well.
Yeah, he does.
So it's like there's like a little bit of risk here, but not as much as like a straightforward DT rush.
This drop over here from Protoss could be pretty big. I see two medevacs moving north on the map. They're pretty far away, and there are stalkers to create threats over here at the front. Dude, this is already 9 kills on workers.
Yeah. Leaves one down there. Smart move.
Yeah, baits a scan out. Saves that.
Yeah, pretty sick.
Now, I think he could just recall back here with his army and protect this.
Well, he's pretty close anyways, so... comes right up, has to be a little bit careful here, but I don't think he's going to lose the Nexus. Seems like he just has enough. A little blink to the side. The DT's coming in for a little bit of a flank as well.
Nicely done.
And yeah, I mean, Creator is doing a fantastic job right now. He's up a good 18 workers. He's on 3 mining base against 2. Charging +1 on the way. Plenty of Immortals. Like, he's got that DT tech, so, you know, that's obviously something that's annoying, but he can also just make a couple Archons. You know, just solidify his army a little bit more.
Yeah.
Looking great. Like, this is such good standard basic stuff. Like, Creator has some little flares in the play, so it's not like this is like, oh, this is a build order everyone uses or something like that. That's not what I'm trying to say, but like his moves are so like principled, I guess.
Sure.
That it's like giving me chills, you know, because it's like, oh, this is just good StarCraft.
Yeah, he's just very much on top of his game here. Looks like he's going to try to outrun this scan here. This DT's going to go down. I'm making up for that observer that got away earlier. Now, Looks like there's going to be a push up here at the third. I just feel like right now Creator's basically ready for it. Some very straightforward StarCraft games so far here tonight, Artosis.
Yeah, yeah. Now, Keen is not dead or anything. He is running around trying to get some things done. Does a little mine drop at the third base location. Creator sees it.
Oh,
pulls back. Yeah,
that went a little bit better than I think everybody expected there for that mine drop. But again, I don't think Creator's in a bad spot.
No.
We are having the third command center about halfway finished here. Looks like it's being built in the main. And so he needs to eventually take that and start to actually match the Protoss here. But it doesn't seem like he's actually really damaged Protoss in any kind of meaningful way with his 2-base powering.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that a big part of that is the way that Creator's playing this, right? Like, he did a little bit of harassment, but overall he's playing a kind of defensive game. He has 4 Immortals, which is not super common, but it adds such a backbone. Now, if he had gone up to 4 base, I think Keen could have done a lot of damage.
Yeah.
But the way he's zoning out his 3-base defense is, like, really masterful. It's really fantastically done.
Yeah.
And as he gets into splash damage, he can simply start to expand a little bit more. And I don't think he's going to be breakable. Like, this is, again, like, what we're watching is just such solid fundamentals, great decision-making, and just solid everything else from Creator. And it's, like, this is some of the most fearsome stuff in StarCraft, is doing all these smaller things correctly.
Yeah, I totally agree. So the third base is now being taken. He's got it. We are going to have the moment where Creator, and it looks like it's not going to be yet here because Terran's going to attack again here, but there is going to be the moment where it's going to be pretty tempting to hit this third base. It's about 40 supply away from maxing out. Oh, that's funny. He just got out position. He just sort of had this naked expand, and so that's a pretty big win there for Keen. There is another base being taken at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, look at that, the mine guarding the other location, so he just makes it way on the side. That's kind of interesting. Didn't expect to see something like that here.
Yeah, well, a base that's sticking out that far is also at risk of being hit again, you know, and being forced to cancel.
Now, the 4th base obviously going to be somewhat important here for Creator, but he's in a solid position no matter what. Like, his army is very, very strong right now. Keen not looking bad, though, I think. Like, he's being pretty active. Denying that base has to feel good. He has mines in 2 different locations, and he definitely does not know about the new 4th base spot. So we'll see when he figures that out.
So they're going to come up now and try to hit this 3 o'clock. Oh, I'm sorry, does Terran not actually know about the third base? I guess he knows now.
Yeah, no, he definitely did not.
I meant 4th base when I said that.
Yeah, no, I know. But yeah, now that he goes over the mines, like, this is such an easy cancel. So now this is starting to look a lot better for Keen than it did before, but this is a scary army.
Yeah, I'm a little bit worried here still for Keen, but I think if Keen can survive this attack, he's going to be okay. But he has to survive this attack first and foremost. And I just don't see very much here to help out. Again, the Colossi doing so much damage in the back. The Vikings coming in, but not before, you know, there's been so much killed off here. Now, the tanks have been eliminated. And I think, you know, honestly, Creator a little bit disjointed here. 25 SCV kills. There's more inbound here as well.
Yeah.
It's been a little bit of a sloppy second half here, but I do think that Creator may just have the numbers to close it out. We're going to see in a second.
Yeah, I think that Creator's pretty good here. This is, like, not a great angle he's going in. Oh, my God, that disruption shot is so insane. But he's going to be able to get through everything. The 4 Immortals have offered so much stability to his army that even though a lot of things went wrong, he was able to just bludgeon him there at the end. Very well played. I am confused about changing the 4th base location. Yeah, he got out-positioned by Keen and had to cancel the 4th once. But I think, honestly, if he takes the safest 4th, it's a much better play. But whatever, like, he played a really good game there.
Yeah.
And Keen did not play poorly this second game.
No. Okay, so that was, you know, a very one-sided series. I mean, Creator clearly the better player. I guess we can conclude that after seeing that.
Yeah. I mean, Creator's just really good right now, man. Like, just watching his decisions and macro and everything, looking fantastic.
Guys, we're going to go to a break. When we come back, Solar versus Morrow, a ZVT. We will see you in a minute.
But till I just look around, are you with me now? Are you with me now? now. Say that you feel me now. Ain't felt this good in a while. They want us to simmer down. Can you hear me now? Am I going in and out?